What is gastroesophageal reflux disease, commonly known as Gerd, and what do you recommend to your patients who have it?
So this is a very good question. Thank you so much for asking, because there are millions and millions of people who have gastroesophageal reflux disease, which manifests as heartburn or reflux of acid into the throat. They get sore throat, coughing, abdominal pain. Basically, they can't sleep at night because stuff comes into their throat. They start coughing and choking and things like that. So it's a really big problem in the United States. And about 3 out of 5 people report an episode of gastroesophageal reflux.
Wow.
And that's what has led to the multi-billion-dollar industry, PPIs and H2 blocker medicines like Prevacid, Acefex, Nexium, Zantac. I mean, I can go on and on, right? So it's a big problem. And from what I see, what happens is most people blame acid. So they come to me and they say, oh, I can't even look at tomato sauce without getting acid. And I've given up oranges and lemons, and I've given up tomatoes, and I still have it. What do I do? Well, let's think about it. Acid is important in the stomach. That's where it belongs, people. Hydrochloric acid, when you look at food, you smell food, you think about food. Just talking about food right now, I just had hydrochloric acid sprayed in my stomach. So what? That's normal. What becomes pathological is when you have gastroesophageal reflux, which means the lower esophageal sphincter of the esophagus relaxes and allows this acid to come up into the throat. That's a problem. Why? Because as much as the stomach is well equipped to handle acid because it has a protective mucus layer, the esophagus doesn't. The esophagus is supposed to be a pipe to transfer food down into the stomach, and that's about it. It's not well equipped to handle acid. So when the acid comes up, it destroys the esophagus. You won't be happy because it's going to hurt your throat, vocal cords, and all that stuff. So then where's the problem here? Why isn't the tomatoes, if lemons are okay and tomato sauce is okay, then what's the problem? Well, that acid is not going to hurt. What hurts is when you eat fat, fried fatty foods, that lower esophageal sphincter gets loosened through a hormonal thing I'm not going to go into. That sphincter loosens and allows this acid to come up. So as long as you have this acid in your stomach, it's not gastroesophageal reflux until this acid comes up into the throat and causes havoc. So what do I do with my patients who have gastroesophageal reflux disease? Do I put them on a PPI right off the bat? No. I ask them to stop eating dairy. That's the first step.
They're very lucky they have you as a doctor.
Well, thank you. I'm saving them from a lot of problems down the road. So what's wrong with dairy? Well, it's very fatty. You know, you eat cheese pizza. Is it the tomato sauce that caused the reflux, or is it the cheese? So it's very easy for humans to think, oh, I had that pizza, so then it's the tomato sauce. But if you think about it, it's the fat in the cheese that's causing the reflux, right? So what I do is I ask them to avoid all dairy. They come back 99%, they're better. Sometimes you have to also cut out other types of fats, but that's the first best step, because the fattiest thing you can consume is probably cheese and other dairy products. So there are a very small percentage of people who go on to have problems. Then you have no choice but to use these PPIs and H2 blockers as needed. But dietary modifications and lifestyle modifications are key in preventing GERD and basically reversing the symptoms.